Yeah,
Totally.
I'm surprised. I really thought they wouldn't.
Ever.
I had mixed feelings because
I'm glad I hate sitting in that.
hello everybody. We're getting fuller and fuller. This is nice. Fuller and more people. Fuller and fuller. I don't know if that's proper.
Would you join me in prayer? Good and gracious Lord, we thank you for the blessings that you have bestowed on each and every one. And we thank you, Lord, particularly today for friendship as the room begins to fill again. And we hear laughter and exchanges with one another, and perhaps people that we haven't had the opportunity to spend time with recently. And we thank you for those friendships. We thank you, Lord, for this club and for the work that it has done even in the days of the pandemic. We ask that you continue to watch over us, and that as we prepare for a coming year, that you open our eyes and our hearts and our minds to the work that you would have us do in this community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
I think of this every time I'm watching the news in the morning. I'm just going to go this out there because it's on my mind. One way, I've never seen the picture in the paper, the Echo. I've checked with Katrina. She said that she was going to check again. But the pledge made me think, I don't know if it's something you'd be interested in every morning on Channel 7. They have the daily pledge. So if someone would want to, I mean, that's a way to get your name out there. It could be seen, we all stand and say the pledge to the flag, and they air it on during the news segment.
That'd be great.
That would be
So
cool.
that, I mean,
Absolutely.
I think of it every time I see it on the news, and then I forget about it by the time Wednesday rolls around and we come here. So that's just an idea.
It
I know
is.
we're
good
looking
idea.
for ways to get our name out and things like that. So I'm going to check with Katrina again about that picture. I have no idea what happened there. There's not a lot going on out there in the virtual world again. Our ticket sales for the fundraiser, I think everyone's doing really well with those. If we need more tickets, I think Ashley still has more.
I have some at the hotel.
Okay, and I still have some at the bank also. Winnie has a graduation party this weekend, so I'm planning on picking up everybody at the party. Yay. No admission for the party, but you gotta buy a ticket. So I'm gonna try to get us some more sales that way, guys. The end of year picnic is the only other thing that I know of. We're up to 24 people. And coleslaw has been added as a dish. I think I sent out an email last week with everything. Dorothy had a good question. The club is supplying the chicken, but we've never discussed plates, utensils. I did put bring your own beverage, so most people have cans or something that we can buy a small thing of soda cups or something. But like ice, plates, napkins, cups.
Well, we could easily bring our own, like ice or whatever. We're bringing our own drink.
Right.
And couldn't we just buy a package of plates and napkins?
Tell you what, that'll be mine. I'll bring plates, cups, and.
We shouldn't even really need cups for bringing our own drinks.
Okay, how about that? I'll take care of the cups, plates. There we go. Okay, does Ashley, I know Ashley sent out an email to everyone asking if anybody was interested in going with her on Saturday the 26th.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm out of town. I'm already committed, so I can't. My niece would not be real happy with me if I changed our plans after quite a few months. But if anybody is interested, Ashley's leaving Wheeling at 6-ish. And hope to be back in town by 7:30.
That was about the time that we got back last time, so, yeah.
So I know there was a few tentatives.
I'm going, but I'm on
Sharon
my
is
own.
going.
I gotta be there Friday night for the DG installation.
You get the long haul.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I'm gonna spend the night and then Saturday night, I'm gonna spend the night making stuff.
There you go.
It all works out.
So if anybody else is interested, get a hold of Ashley. I know we're gonna do the shopping, or had done the shopping for the Wellspring.
Yeah, already completed.
Okay, already completed. Was there anything that anybody else had? Sharon?
Programs.
Okay, hold on, I'll wait till you're chewing there.
So I'm sorry, I've totally been not in this world for the last, all of June. And so I couldn't have cared less about Rotary programs, honestly. But now I'm starting to come alive again and I care again. So we don't have any programs listed in July. I don't know if you guys wanted to talk about, because I know I did the initial research on the flag project and then I've been sick. So do you want to talk about the flag stuff one time or no? Like that could be one.
We kind of talked about it last week. I know you weren't here. And there's a real fear of, we love it, love it, love it, love it. But there's a real fear of getting our club to really do it.
Well, there are a lot of variables. That's why, because I mean, there are, like Fairmont and Cheat Lake are doing totally different things.
Right.
There are lots of options. If we're not going to do it, I'll just drop it. But if we're interested at all, then we can have a meeting and I've got information.
Right.
It's up to y'all. Yes, no.
I mean, we can talk about it and give a little more, but unlike Judy, there was an awful lot of, we're gonna need commitment.
Well, we got these Boy Scout guys over here. Well, let's do a meeting and I'll present the information I have.
Okay.
And if we don't want to do it, then we can just drop it after that. So July 7th is the next open one. I'll just put myself there.
Okay, that was good.
Joni and I had talked a lifetime ago, seems like now, about programs that, like, it would be nice to have programs for people who wanted to inform us of things. Not just like, we have a group and this is what we do in the area and do you have money, not that kind of a thing. Not that that's bad, but like cybersecurity or marketing on Facebook or things that would benefit a business person. So if anybody knows anybody.
Well, that kind of came about because the girl that is going to be our speaker next week, her thing is called Social Media or something, but she's doing marketing. First of all, I know her very well. She's one of my kids, good friends, but she's been going to some of the local Rotaries and she lives in Bridgeport, West Virginia. So, or actually Fairmont moving to Bridgeport, but she's not coming to sell us what she does, but to tell us, how she's gotten into this business and the things that the importance of, like us spreading Facebook posts. Please do so. It can hit 20 times more. It's not that she's selling her program. She's just discussing aspects of the program. And so that's how we kind of got
Yeah,
it. But they can't sell us, but if they teach us something in the process, it becomes a little, more of a lesson as well. So.
But if you know of anybody, and this is the first time, usually there's always people beating on the door going, can I come speak to your Rotary Club? And nobody's been beating on my door. If they did, I didn't hear it. So I got nothing.
I have somebody that could do a cybersecurity, then reach out to them
Yes.
if that's something we would be interested in.
Yeah, am I doing programs next year? Do you have somebody for programs or am I doing that or is it? Like, I'm not opposed to giving it up.
No, I would hope that you would still.
Okay. It's okay. I got a system down, but okay. That's
Wendy, I just kind of skipped over you. You have, I guess, so when he comes back, you can introduce him. I can do that. Would be good.
I'll embarrass him. He embarrasses me.
fair.
I thought of it earlier and I didn't have it jotted down, so my mind went elsewhere. The only other thing that was on email wise, there was the Rotary Foundation Endowment Open Forum. which is Saturday, June 19th from 10 to 11. I think this went out to everybody. Join your fellow District 7545 Rotarians and the Major Gifts Officer, Lori Menzel, for the Rotary Foundation for an informal discussion about the Rotary Foundation endowment, learn ways you can personalize your legacy gift and how you can fund it through a variety of financial assets. So if that's something that somebody suggested and you didn't get the email, there's a link that I can forward to you for that.
Madam President,
Yes.
I just wanted you to know that we did get, it's not in our physical hands, but because Bob called Lori, we ended up with another $250 sponsorship for our process.
Great.
Good job. We received $100 from Altmaiers as well.
Wow. Okay. And I turned ours in, so that is, I've had it for 2 weeks, just keep forgetting to bring it
Yeah,
across
no,
the
I
street.
turned mine in too.
So good. Good, so that's.
You had 5, we did 250, Lori did 250. So that was $1,000.
Great. I was just hoping to cover the cost.
Yeah.
The merchandise. So
So I mean, there
Great.
still may be some, I've sent a few emails, haven't heard anything back, but I thought that was pretty good. Oh, and then Sharon did the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and please tell them, I'm so sorry that I have not paid them. I'm sure she won't, she'll be gracious and fine, but I had every intention of getting down there and I honestly,
I'll let her know that
Stacy?
you were out of commission.
I was always just on Zoom and sometimes didn't hear things. Does anybody have a paper that tells you what that meat package or whatever that's?
There is a breakdown, I think there's like 8 different,
I have it on my phone.
I think there's like 8
Oh, no,
different
it's on my
packages
computer.
or
It's on
something.
my
I just, I saw something on my phone, but I kept, I'm not,
Can I email it to you?
yeah, if you would, just, I mean,
Got it.
someone asked me.
And basically how we did it too, well, I don't know,
I couldn't see
that.
the-
This is the finest print ever. You're not going to be able to really
Yeah,
read it.
That's what I was trying to
I mean,
enlarge that. and I couldn't.
Basically, it was $130 of meat. Isn't that what you ended up? But there were different packages for, we felt if you had $130, we'd prefer to get all steaks. And, you know, you could get your own package if you
Oh,
chose.
okay, but they, okay.
But there are package deals. And
Okay,
there were
there's
like
like
8
some-
out of 10 that were $130.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was some, it was like a variety, you got beef, you got
Yeah.
pork, and
I'll send you-
stuff, and some
I'll
was
send
just
it to
beef
you.
package, some was just a pork, some had chicken, I think. There was like a whole
Oh,
big
Alright.
arrangement.
I'll send it to you just in case.
okay.
Okay. Oh, Mike.
I'm so sorry to do this, but Dorothy, you did refer to her by her first name.
No.
This is just my second time back, Mike. Give me a break. You don't know what I called all of you while I was Zooming. What do I owe you? Do I have to pay you?
No, you just pay, well, you give, yeah, I'm just gonna give it to Josh.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm telling you.
that was priceless.
Now, when I'm not here next week, you'll wonder why.
This goes to the power fund, actually.
Okay, Dorothy, how about we have you introduce your guest towards the end of the.
I
Go
can.
ahead.
It's my grandson, and he won't care what I'm wrong with you.
Well, I just didn't want to leave you out because we always try to.
I really wanted to hear Tom, and so I said to him, you're gonna love going to a Rotary. He just gave me that, you know, sort of look. And I said, you can eat pancakes for lunch. Oh, I can do that.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, so.
Okay.
And he's playing on my phone, so he's
All right, he's a happy boy then.
About time.
Sharon said there was a lot of openings in July, we'll just. Oh.
I said that I said I could see these.
just gonna go right
I
over there.
have to follow Rick Healy. Rick Healy's a public speaker, and I am our public speaker. So, I've got some problems with it. I'm gonna ask Spike
Oh,
to
no.
come up and help me, and you'll find out why he's Spike later.
Remember, you have that executive board meeting. I'm gonna show up perfect.
Cody, he just knows how good you are at this.
I just passed stuff out. Wait, is that against regulation? Okay.
Josh will charge you though.
What am I doing? Yeah, I messed up.
He's asked me if it's against regulations,
Oh, I was gonna ask you to draw that.
but don't worry, he'll be helping me. Yes, if you can pass it. Easy.
Do you need somebody else to help too?
I need someone to help me.
No, actually, right. Actually, when I'm done, you guys will follow him around.
Is this part of the speech?
All right, we want to pass out batteries,
The one each for everyone.
I'll take one of those.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. As I said, I am part of the public speaker. Linda gave me a good idea when I was going to talk about health part today, but she I thought it was vocational. So I figured I'll kill two birds with one stone. Now the vocational is going to be a little impromptu because I didn't plan on a vocational program, but I'll start a little vocational program with myself. My name is Tom Cook. I have been a lifelong resident of Marshall County. I worked in Pittsburgh 30 years at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center as manager of clinical services. I go back and forth every day. My car right now has, my last car has 364,000 miles on it. And it's still going. I don't buy a new car just to buy a new car. Once I buy them, they're dead. When I park, it's dead. That being said, I never forget the community of Marshall County. I've been with the Wendell Volunteer Fire Department for 36 years. I retired as a lieutenant and a training officer for Wendell Volunteer Fire Department. Helped set up Dr. Dave Anderson and myself back in probably 83, 84. Set up the paramedic program. And we were the first volunteer squad to have a paramedic program. Took a lot of heat because we were pseudo doctors, a lot of these, just get them to the hospital type thing. So it was a tough road to begin with. I worked for Tri-State Ambulance when it was owned by Wayne Hospital. I went over and helped start, and that's ambulance service started in the area, working with Mets Ambulance Service. I could have been a partner, but I couldn't come with the money. Schooling, I have a associate's degree in nursing, associate's degree in accounting, an associate's degree in paramedic technology. I have a bachelor's degree from West Liberty, those are from Northern, West Liberty State College. I have a business administration, bachelor's of business administration with specialization in accounting. I have a master's degree in safety management from WU. That being said, I was a professional student. Lifelong community service for myself, and still goes. And I'm going to mess a lot of these up. I told you the fire department, so I am a outreach teacher for High County. Have a High County teaching permit with adult education. Thank you. I've been involved in scouting for my entire life. I'm an adult leader right now in scouting. I have no children, but we could have children. So I've been a lifelong scouter, working with jamborees, Eagle Scouts. And the program helped about 30 or 40 Eagle Scouts throughout this area. I'm a member of the Rotary. I'm a member of the Lions Club. I'm a Mason, Bridgeport Lodge. I'm a 32nd degree Scottish Rite Mason, and I'm a Shriner. So a lot of community services with organizations I go to. My wife doesn't know. I'm gone all the time, and she'll tell you that it's just a revolving door. I'm doing something every night. Scouting. I'm an Eagle Scout myself, and the Order of the Arrow. I am a member of the Order of the Arrow. There's some vigil members and founders member of the Order of the Arrow, but one of the biggest things I am on the council, Boy Scouts of America. And this is the most scary thing that I have because I've done a lot of stuff. I am now the administrative vice president. Next year, I'll be the president of the Ohio River Valley Council.
Impressive.
Issues now, bankruptcy, restructuring and scouting. I'm going to get hit with that right off the bat, just like when I came to Marshall County to the health department. I left a $95,000 job for a $35,000 job a year for a break. I had 2 years left. My 2 years are up. And July 16th of this year, my 2 years are up, but I won't leave during the pandemic. So you're kind of stuck with me for a little bit longer. I have some other, but I'm digressing and I want to get off myself. Is that okay with you, Linda?
I had no idea how interesting a person you were. I'm impressed.
And like I said, I'm not a public speaker, and I'll tell you, I don't like to talk about myself. When I came to Marshall County, I started into the program. When I came to Marshall County, my goal was to no one built hotels. No one had a it's a place where they give shots. What I thought too. When I came and started with my interview with the board, I told them that my goal was to be a broken. We're not going to be tied down by a physical building. We will be out in the community. We have that out in the community. We will continue to be out in the community. Or fairs, festivals, and anywhere that someone wants us, we will be. Programs, we will be starting up 50 programs. We started up in 2019 and then everything shut down. As everyone knows, we started this CPR. We had a few classes, 2 classes. We did started a Stop the Bleed program. Stop the Bleed, if no one knows about it, it is shootings, traumas, to save a life before somebody gets here. So we started a program there. We want to try to start up some other programs, lice programs, head checks. You don't see it in schools. They have issues if someone comes in and they refer them out with lice. But as a health department, we're I'll take the wrath. I've taken a lot of wrath so far since I've been at the health department. But we'll continue to be visible in the community. Prior, people didn't know. Out in the community with the involvement in the community from OES, OEM, county administrators, school board, civic organizations like yourself, volunteers. We couldn't do everything that we did through the pandemic without the volunteers. What I put in front of you was this is an executive summary that I came up with when I first started, and I use this a lot with budgets, and when I do talk to people. This is some of the programs these are programs that are offered right now. This program is going to extend. As you can go through there, and I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read the executive summary or anything. 2 right now. You guys can take a look at that. But some simple programs, we do with the health department. We lost our dental hygienist, Charlene Ryan. She'll be talking about it. But Charlene, I talked to Charlene, and Charlene will come back to the health department. She's working on a couple grants right now as a physician. She comes in 3 days a week. We will be, as you can see on the second page, our dental or oral health brushing program. And that's through grades 1 through 5. Going to the school, brushing teeth, oral health. Early intervention programs, she gets into the pre-K schools. She goes into every school in Marshall County, every public school, and she goes into Our Lady of Peace, which is in Marshall, and puts on these programs. But early intervention, that's the way to do that, to get them, how we get the kids doing what they should healthy. Our 3rd grade pass on off and sugary foods. That's a big program. That's a program that Charlene takes year and year to heart. She's telling me about, I drink Diet Mountain Dew all the time. She's always on me for Diet Mountain Dew. I said, it's not full strength. So I use that, but she did, that's a big thing that's near and dear to our heart. Oral injury prevention. She'll go into schools. This is the teeth test. She'll go in and fit these kids for teeth for sports. Tobacco use and prevention program. She'll go in and talk about the prevention and tobacco and the health issues. She has great props to go in there once you see those. Maybe this isn't a good thing to do, but she is passionate in the program she does, and it doesn't. And now it spills over not just into Charlene, but it spills into the whole department, from our health inspectors, sanitarians to our nurses. We were able to add on during COVID, good thing. We had 3 people leave during the COVID pandemic. 1 just left, 1 retired, 2 or 3 people. 1 just walked out. So we had to hire people during this process. Now I told you salaries. I told you my salary. So you can imagine what other people's salaries are. People in public health make more money in McDonald's than we were in health. So I was able to replace a office assistant with someone in. Let me digress a little bit. These clinics saw people there. People asking about them. 2 of my hires came from us. I hired an office assistant a month and a half ago, 6 weeks ago. Amy Logston, she is now the office assistant. She worked at me. She also worked at clinics. She did a lot of the scribing. She has been phenomenal. She has just started running. You don't have to tell her. Sometimes I have to slow down a little bit. I had a nurse leave, another nurse that left, and I just hired a nurse. This position. So someone that had worked at clinics. Joanne Dobbs is who it is. Carol, but don't throw anything. Joanne started to help teach you. So, and Joanne will just, from everything I hear from people and just seeing Joanne's work ethic, and I think she will run. I'm running with everything. I have a part-time nurse. I don't know if you want to call her part-time or full-time or new to the job. She has been in public health. Vicki Allender, she is outstanding. She is going to be our vaccine coordinator. What vaccine coordinator means is, yes, we have the COVID, but we have other vaccines, other things to do. And she will be 25th of this month, we will be at John Marshall doing physicals for schools to offer COVID vaccine, working with the school system. And we will be there for people that want vaccine. So she's going to coordinate that. The vaccine is readily available for people. So she will be coordinating that program, the flu shot vaccine program. That's a passion of hers. We will be at the fair, the day of the fair. We're going to go to the DHHR in Moundsville. The governor wants us to go to the DOT. Now, a little bit on that, kind of ahead of the curve. Before the governor wanted a lot of this stuff, took a big chance. I did a lot of this stuff. 3 teachers in Marshall County. Under 50, is it 50 to cut off? Yeah, under 50. Vaccinated a month and a half, where it was permissible to do it. I don't care. What are they going to do? As I told you, I'm short term. If it's right, I'm going to use it. I'm going to do it. I have the state. I've called the governor, so the governor on a basis. The Secretary Crouch, and Dr. Judd. I'll pick up the call. I don't care, and they'll answer. They'll answer the phone because what they know. If I say something, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to pay the consequences later. What they can do, fire me. And here's the problem with the local health departments. I have to please more than one master. I have a state, I have a county commissioner, and I have a board of health. The only boss that I have is the board of health. That is appointed by the commission. Great people, and you guys too. I mean, you're my boss, no matter what anyone believes. The community makes or breaks me, and I've always looked at that. What can I do that's right for the citizens of Marshall County? So that's where we are with that program, and I kind of went on a tangent, but I'm passionate for this stuff. Our threat preparedness has less time than July, as I said, July 16th, I'll be there 2 years. Markers and threat preparedness, you speak here. You speak. But anyway, he has.
Talked about tornadoes and stuff. You had someone.
That was not Mark.
Mark Ackerman.
But he has less time than me. He has about a year and 4 months into the health department when the pandemic started. What do we do? Well, I think we weather the storm. But as you see with some of the stuff he does, we started the first day at CPRs. We started to stop the leak. I forgot the environmental program. I had one health inspector, one sanitarian for 3 years. During my tenure here, and this was 2 weeks before the pandemic started, I hired a health inspector. So we have 2 health inspectors. The health inspector left on me. I don't know, was it me that they left? No, she changed career paths. But I hired a health inspector in that time. So we now have two health inspectors. Very, very busy. It was tough for one person, really tough for one person that they couldn't that they were hired for in their position. So they do school inspections twice a year. They go through every school in Marshall, plus they're available any other time. And they probably go out to the schools, out to the cafeteria. That 2 times that they're required, they're probably in there 8 to 10 times in each school. Because we're not going to sit. We're going to go. And we're not the people, we're not to rule with an iron fist. We're there to help people. If you've got questions, call. I know the paradigm has shifted, and people are calling to ask questions. The school building inspections, food handlers classes. Food handlers classes are required for or anyone that handles food in West Virginia itself. So they teach food handlers classes. They teach for just anyone working around prepared foods. They also do a person in charge class, and that is someone on each shift has to be here, has to be in charge of everyone. Well, the state just changed another mandate, and it's called a certified food manager. Now, what that is, that person is charged of the whole organization. Perkins, they may have 20 restaurants, but they have a manager that oversees all those, a certified food manager. So if there's any questions, they can get a hold of them. That's your person in charge of anything. Can get a hold of them. Health concerns, as you know, natural disasters, floods, sewage, stuff like that, they would be out there investigating health concerns, raw sewage going. I thought, man, I'm a Glendale resident, always been a Glendale resident. Everyone has water and sewage. Everyone has septic systems. In some of the communities, we're lucky to have water and sewage. It's big septic systems, which, as you can see with the statistics I showed you, and that was a half a year. That was right before COVID. So probably multiply that by 5 times, and that's the statistics that go within the county. Community inspections, like local establishments, and again, following complaints. Clinical programs, that's our nursing program. We have 2 full-time, 2 people, 2 full-time nurses, and 2 casual nurses. Community disease prevention, family planning program. We had a family planning program Tuesday. We have a physician assistant comes down to help in conjunction with nursing, the physician's assistant does all gynecological. Like birth control devices, to everything there. That has anything to do with HIV, AIDS, STD testing and counseling. We do that. STDs are on the rise. HIV and AIDS were status quo right now. We don't see enough swing like chalk with Kanawha County. But the STDs are on the rise. And as businesses start to come in, as the cracker plant and bringing contractors and everything, you may see an even higher increase in STDs. Immunization programs, well, that's all the health department does. We do all immunizations, school-related immunizations. We do not do travel vaccines because just to keep the vaccines we do, but that's something we are, the nursing director, Mrs. Turner, have been talking about that. Maybe take over the travel vaccines. TB screenings. We're lucky right now. We don't have any new active cases. We have some latent TB active cases. Outbreaks. We've got hit bad with outbreaks with the COVID from regional jail to nursing homes to churches during this pandemic. So outbreaks are here. Lyme's disease. Lyme's disease is terrible. It's terrible right now. So be careful out there with the ticks because the cases are starting to increase with Lyme diseases. Epidemiological surveillance. We're tracking viruses. Anything epidemiological. Gonorrhea, syphilis, anything like that, we track. Substance abuse prevention services. A big thing in the country. We do have educational programs on substance abuse. Charlene that I talked to you back on dental health, on dental and oral. Charlene does a lot of other substance abuse in the schools. Community health promotions, as I stated earlier, we are at different fairs, festivals, wherever someone wants us to be, we'll be there. As you can see with the community activities, that's a little bit of the things that we just started to do. We want to increase it. It's a little bit on what we do at the health department. More to come. And you didn't see in there yet. When I say yet, these seatbelts. These seatbelt covers. The program is very sort of church is going to help make. So I like to say we're out in the community. We have the community involvement, and we want to keep the community involvement, and we want to do whatever we can for the community. Probably a lot of things near and dear to your heart is COVID. Hi, Cody. But before I start the COVID presentation, I first and foremost have to thank all the volunteers that have helped out with testing, vaccinations, and anything available. We have such a abundant amount of people in this community that will come out and help. I just told you about 10 people to help me, to be 10 people to help me. We could do this without the volunteers, every one of you that have come out, or if you weren't there spreading the words about the vaccine. What we have, I have to thank volunteers. Here's a near and dear to my heart. I have to give special thanks to Shelby Haynes, Marshall County Superintendent. Shelby and I were newbies. Shelby, I think, has 3 months longer than me. We got hit with the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, I got hit 4 days on my job with hepatitis A. 4 days. I've had pneumonia outbreaks in the Cameron area. Wasn't that COVID at that time? I don't know what COVID was. I think it must be COVID. I've had sewage, raw sewage in creeks. And then COVID took over all our lives. It's going to take a long time for us to recover from COVID. We're coming out of the woods right now. And like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic that we're going to beat this. And we are. We are with the vaccination program, testing. But it's going to take a while to recover. School-age children. It's going to take a long time for school-age children and their mental psyche. It's tough. It's tough on the kids. We'll see down the road with research and everything and what kids actually do to the kids. And I don't think it's going to be so. Okay. I'm gonna get choked. We had no idea where we were going. Old age.
I'm with you.
Okay. We had no idea that we were going to be hit with a pandemic when we took our current positions. At the beginning of April 2019, I called Shelby and I asked her how we were going to reopen schools. I think Shelby thought I had 2 beds. That was before the vaccine. So we discussed what I saw, what I foresaw in going on. I told her to start buying cleaning supplies, PPE, barriers, etc. for the schools. And probably, when she came there, said, "What are you doing this?"
I did. What does this cost?
Again, I think Shelby thought I was nuts. But she began the process. She never asked me, why are we doing this? Now, again, that's in April. It's just starting to go. I wouldn't have believed this would come. March 13th. The COVID pandemic was declared in the United States. Now, I remember March 19th. That was my birthday eve. So I remember that business and non-essential businesses were closed. Shelby never asked me again how I knew everything was going to be shut down. If she would have, my answer to her would have been, even a blind squirrel finds a nut. Really. I've been trained with some of the background that I told you for disasters. I said on disaster committees, nothing to this effect. H1N1 out there are some of the other things, not to the extent of what was going on. We had SARS before, we've had different issues, but nothing to this extent. Well, everything was shutting down. Shelby and I had numerous calls to discuss COVID and what was going on in the country. It was not uncommon for us to be on the phone 5-6 times a night or be texting at all hours of the night. I don't think either one of us sleeps. It'd be 2 o'clock in the morning. She'd get a text and she'd answer right back. So this was a big thing in how we're going to do stuff. Fast forward to schools reopening. I am very proud to say that Marshall County schools were well prepared to open, and I must say, better prepared than all counties in the state of West Virginia. The state of West Virginia took some of our lead. We had did stuff in the state goes 2-3 months later, as I told you, with vaccinations with teachers. We had every teacher in Marshall County vaccinated way before the state even said we could do it. At no time during the reopening of Marshall County schools, there was any want for PPE, cleaning supplies, shielding, etc. During the reopening, Shelby and I had to make very difficult decisions, not only her in the school, but me in the county. I told Shelby that I lived by a quote that I had developed. The quote that I had developed was, I told Shelby, my job is to make the worst, best decision at the time. There's no decision out there for something like that is a standard that everyone's going to do. So we are making the best, worst decision. Shelby to this day, I think, uses that quote. We both use that quote, but it's true. The decisions we made were for residents of Marshall County, people coming into Marshall County. We wanted to protect them. So we had some difficult decisions to make. The school system in Shelby, with the schools and I called Shelby. I didn't even get it out of my mouth. What do you need? We had teachers coming down, testing, nurses, testing, vaccinations, school nurses, people from administration, people from teachers coming and helping with all these programs before everything even began. Shelby herself, I asked Shelby if she wanted pay to tell. Shelby would come down and help contact trace, right, to help. We have, and we still do, a working relationship. If we get someone who's positive, a student, we'll call. Usually the school system already has who needs to be quarantined. Of course, before we even tell them who it is. They, a lot of times, they know that if something's coming in, people will be, and they start. Shelby, hey, this such and such has tested positive. Have you got? No, we haven't done. 2 days later, we get it, but we're already ahead of the ballgame. contact tracing, we could send down to Charleston and multinational contact tracers. We chose as a health department not to do it. When I send someone down to Charleston for the National Guard, we have lost that, stuff with the schools, with everything with the school that was developed. It's not gonna happen. So we chose not to do it, and we have not sent anything down. Currently, I've had 2 death threats against me. Don't shut football down again. To, where are you going, Spike? Huh? I was gonna have you hold this up.
Okay, I will hold it up, but then I gotta.
No. So. But I've had 2 death threats, 3 injunctions, and a cease and desist order filed against me for protecting the county. I've had people screaming and yelling on the phone on a daily basis. No, that's not the majority. The majority saw what we did with this pandemic and how we helped get everyone through this pandemic. Some statistics right now. We have in Marshall County 2,564 confirmed cases, 969 probable cases, for a total of 3,533. We have 79 deaths right now. Just had a gentleman pass away from COVID this week. On the vaccines, and I'm going to touch real quick. I'll be real quick. The 2 types of vaccines, the 3 vaccines in Marshall County is RNA messenger cell vaccine. It's part of the genetics of the virus itself and recreating that, giving that to the cells. So the cells are looking for the spike protein in the COVID. That's what the COVID virus looks like. And they're looking for that right now when it invades the body. It's putting an immune response out there to go attack this. And then we have, and that is the Pfizer, and that is the Moderna vaccine. We have a vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I think Johnson & Johnson took a bad rap. 6 deaths and 7 million. That's not statistical. That the statistics are there. It's not significant. What it does is it's a viral vector, and what it is it's a piece of the virus, and it gets into the body and it tells the body to start producing antibody. I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. But what they're taking is the adenovirus, common cold virus. Common cold virus is a coronavirus. The difference between that is the COVID-19 SARS-2 is wrapped in that protein. So the regular cold virus is wrapped in that protein. The efficacy of the vaccine, how well they work. Pfizer, 95% effective. Moderna, 94% effective. Johnson & Johnson, 72%. When I talk to those, which one would you get? Well, most people would get the Pfizer and Moderna, 90-some percent. Measles, mumps, other vaccines are now in 50 to 60. So they're all good vaccines. The difference between the Pfizer and the Moderna, as you know, is 2 vaccines. The Johnson & Johnson as well. Statistics for Marshall County, our population is 30,531. Residents with at least 1 dose of the Pfizer or Moderna is of 11,456 or 37.5%. Fully vaccinated, that is the double vaccine of Pfizer, Moderna, or the single Johnson & Johnson 2 weeks after. It's 10,431, for 34.2%. How's that compare with the state? State of West Virginia, 1,792,147. Single dose Pfizer and Moderna, 811,827, or 45.3%. The fully vaccinated, the double Pfizer, Moderna, or single Johnson & Johnson, 702,549, or 30.2%. You're going to ask me if anyone looked at the statistics right here, and I have how many vaccines were administered in Marshall County. I tell you 18,000, I just told you 11,000 here. I do believe, and it's happened before with some of our positive cases, we have 17% of the county has 26003 zip codes. And a lot of those people live in Lyon County. I can tell you for a fact that we did over 18,000 vaccines came through our clinics. So you're looking at roughly 7,000 that are on account. How many of those were 26003? How many were Ohio or Pennsylvania that came in? So, and all in all, I think we're closer to the 50, 55%. But I can't argue statistics because I did it before they took my access away to the state. That's what I said. I'm not afraid to call them there and give it. I have a lot more on the COVID itself and going over the vaccine, but I have well over time. And I thank you guys for it.
Second round.
Cody's on for that.
Openings in July, Tom.
What's that?
There are openings in July. Anybody have anything else for the well-being of the club? Hey, guys. Sure. Good. Thank you.